Love is not love. Fade in. Interior, Joelle's cocoon, night. Strings, thousands of them, stretch and flow across a dark space. Some great loom has been released into the night, and the threads comb the screen in perfect order through in different directions and patterns, over and under each other, sometimes parallel. Peering through this weave is Joelle, 70s. She is in the classic costume of the French commedia Pierrot, with full white makeup and her head framed beneath a black skull cap. She sits in a golden chair as she conducts this first in a series of interviews with herself. She is subject, camera, and audience all in one.
Man alone, walking in the desert. No, man is alone. He walks in the desert of his desires. They are hot, and all around him like the sun, and he cannot escape, and he cannot see. He's blinded by these fantasies. They make him thirsty, yet they do not satisfy his thirst. They bring him to his knees, yet he gets up again and walks. Where is he walking? He walks in their direction. They lead him, and he obeys by following. There is no destination, only pursuit. His journey is one of secrecy and one of exposure. He will die of both. And women? It's the same for them too. Women, men. It's the same, really. There is no connection. It's broken. Finally, there is nothing. Tragic.
Interior, Frank and Paula's living room, day. Frank, 60s, enters and approaches his wife, Paula, 60s, who is facing away from him, seated on a couch. He comes up behind her to seduce with a poem.
Two larks swiftly rise, like a dream up to the heavens. Stand here with me, and together watch them fly, and fade into the last light of day. It will soon be time to sleep.
Paula suddenly gets up and swats a fly. She turns to Frank. They exchange a look of two distant worlds. Exterior, city street morning. Frank enters the suburban sensorium. Titles in, music in. Camera leads Frank as he slices into the city streets like an ocean liner leaving its mooring and heading out to sea. He is on a journey, as is everyone else around him, searching for the link to make themselves whole. Another pedestrian in high rush, fortified against the mid-February cold, all chaotic fragments of the kaleidoscope of disconnection. Frank is soon flanked by two male construction workers, mid-30s, clad in hard hats, head rags, sweat and dirt darkened, red sweatshirts peppered in decals. They carry in their swagger, nonchalance, and camaraderie the drive and energy of the city they helped to build.
You know, in Miami Beach, they don't even walk on their sidewalks. Know what they do? They stroll.
They stroll.
That's right, they stroll. 3 or 4 of them strung up across the sidewalk, taking up the whole thing. Maybe one of them pushes a carriage.
What are they thinking?
Nothing.
That's right.
Not a thought in their heads.
What are they, lost? Who are these people?
It's not right.
No, it's not.
When you live among others.
Yakking the whole time, too.
About nothing.
This threesome, Frank and the two construction workers, stops at the corner for the traffic light. A nearby street troupe, made up of the Commedia dell'arte Arlecchino and Arlecchina, sing a Donizetti duet, lip-syncing to a synthesizer. They perform a scene of romantic yearning, blending a contrasting dash of melody into the surrounding broom hydraulics. Another performer, dressed as a bear, holds out an open treasure chest, beguiling passers-by to contribute. Behind the troupe stands a 6-foot-tall prop hourglass, sand slowly pouring through. A bright red ball sprouts and bobbles from the top. 2 fast-paced women toss coins into the treasure chest.
He won't even talk to me. It's like you don't exist.
They vanish. 2 fast-paced men also toss in some coins.
She won't stop talking.
It's like you don't exist.
They vanish. Titles out. The walk traffic symbol appears, followed by the numeric countdown. Camera follows Frank and the 2 construction workers as they cross the street. 2 women pass them from opposite directions. The camera peels away to follow.
It's all about touch. You gotta be touched somehow by someone, and I don't mean emotionally. So who's gonna touch me? That's my question to the universe.
Do you cook for him?
I will never cook for a man. Never. He tells me to cook, I call it cops.
Camera returns to the threesome of Frank and the 2 construction workers.
I can tell you something else in Miami. The fit. They exercise, they look good, they work at it.
So do we.
The difference is, if someone's running in New York or LA, is to make you think they're better than you. In Miami, they got grease on. I'm serious.
Two more women overtake Frank and the two construction workers. Camera leads the women up the sidewalk.
Does it taste like peppermint?
Is that what he said?
That's what he wanted to know.
And what did you say?
I said salted caramel.
And what did he say?
He said he'd give it a try.
And what did you say?
Camera pivots to catch two Wall Street guys.
We get along great. I'm just not attracted to her.
Camera reverses to catch two Wall Street gals.
We have great sex. I just can't stand him.
Camera leads Frank and the two construction workers. Two Indian men break through.
Her feet. Oh my God, you should see her feet. Her toes are like teeth.
Three female comets streak across their path.
I don't mind older men.
They can be very generous.
Resources. You have to consider resources. What did I just say?
A passerby on a cell.
Jacking off is not cardio.
A visiting woman and companion take the frame.
What both sides wish for is a home, a nest, a life with another.
Camera returns to the threesome of Frank and the two construction workers just as Thing, female, passes in front of them up the sidewalk. Every male head on the sidewalk turns towards the site, involuntarily, on cue, as if controlled by magnets. All sound goes off into deep silence. Camera closely follows. Thing is dressed in a short skirt that moves dangerously in the wind. One surprised slow motion puff lifts the skirt completely, revealing that her backside is minus a single trace of lingerie. Nearby, an older construction worker throws his head back in delight and silently claps his hands like a seal. Distant sirens are heard as the sound builds back in.
It can't go on. It's got to stop. Otherwise, you get crazy and start doing things. That's what's going to happen to me. I can see it. Sexually insane.
What?
That's where I'm headed. I'm on the verge. They don't even have hospitals for this, or jails. They just drop you off in the middle of someplace where no one else is, like animal control.
Two young women take the camera.
He wanted to kiss me under my arms.
Gross.
He said it was a very exciting place for him.
Lick my pits.
Underarms.
Nobody ever licked my pits.
Underarms.
Frank and the two construction workers walk in silence. The city renders its own variation on a theme by Baris.
I had this dream. I was in a room full of sirens.
You're in a room full of sirens right now. Just listen.
No, I meant the other kind of siren. You know, siren, that kind of.
Same thing. That's what this city is. A room full of sirens.
The scene changes. All is tinted in a slow flashing red as the two construction workers weave their way through an oncoming sea of women. A siren whines in the distance. The scene returns to normal.
Take your pick.
What happens if you don't pick?
You die with nothing.
And what happens if you do pick?
You die sooner.
Fade out.